Hi, I am Sefatse, your guide in how to build a website. Now, I want you to first of all know we're going to look at how to choose a platform. Before you start worrying about the color themes and the domain names, you have to decide what platform you're going to build your website with. So what do I mean by platform? Back in 2006, when I got started with web development, many sites were built using HTML code or CSS and even Flash. This took a lot of time to learn and were tricky to master. That's why most people think creating a website from scratch is very difficult and it requires a lot of coding and design, but that's no longer true. So in 2016, the time I'm making this video, content management systems like WordPress have made creating a website accessible to everyone. I'm not saying that there are no technicalities involved, but believe me, what it took to create a website in those days is not the same thing that it takes to create a website now. So if you know a little bit of how to use a computer and you have a little knowledge on the web, you can design a very decent website for yourself or your business. So to simply put, content management system or website building platform is actually a user-friendly platform for building websites and managing your online content. So instead of using a bunch of HTML codes or HTML pages and CSS, we're going to focus on creating a website using WordPress. Now, if you look at WordPress, the reason why if you compare WordPress with Drupal and Joomla, you'll find that WordPress dominates or occupies about 50% of 50% of the web of many sites that are created on the internet. So there are reasons why you should choose WordPress. If you're going to choose WordPress, I always recommend people to choose WordPress. And the reasons why I usually say this is that, first of all, WordPress is totally free with loads of layouts and themes to choose from. So if you're going to use WordPress, you have a lot of layouts, you have a lot of themes that you're going to choose from. So themes, actually, they are the looks of your site, and themes affect things like fonts and color and so on and so forth. So another thing about reasons why you should choose WordPress is that it is very beginner friendly. You don't have to, if you're going to use Joomla, you have to know how to use codes and computer codes. You have to know how to use web development codes to expand the function of Joomla site. And another thing about WordPress is that whether it's a big site or a small site, a site of 5 pages or a site of 1,000 pages, it doesn't matter. You can use WordPress to build that site effectively from beginning to the very end. And another thing about building your website is that most people that visit the internet these days use their mobile devices like phones and tablets, PCs. So if you are going to build a site, remember with WordPress, you don't have to worry about the site being mobile friendly. So if you're going to use WordPress, you will be guaranteed that your site will be mobile and tablet friendly. And last but not least, one of the reasons I always recommend people to use WordPress is that there's a huge support community available to help. If you are designing a website and the language you're using is only you and a few guys know how to use it, you may encounter a problem, you may encounter a difficulty, and you may not know how to fix that particular problem or that particular difficulty. But one thing about WordPress is that it has a lot of community support. People are there to help you. People are there in forums. People are there on WordPress.org forum to help you fix problems that your site may encounter. And if you're somebody who owns a site, you know that support is something that you shouldn't take for granted. But then will somebody ask me now, then can I only build my site using WordPress? No, I want to tell you, of course there are other website building platforms there, or CMS. There are many of them, but the very few that I can actually the two top of CMS that you can compare with WordPress is Drupal. Drupal is a very powerful platform that is popular with web developers and more experienced coders. But it comes with a very steep learning curve that makes it a bad choice for beginners. Believe me, Joomla is similar to WordPress and works great for online stores, but you will need at least a little bit of technical coding to make it work the way you want. So if you go to my site, freefooluja.com.ng, you will notice that I have created a comprehensive guide on a comprehensive comparison between WordPress, Joomla, and Drupal. So if you want to know more about the two or the three platforms, want to compare the three of them, then you head to my website. Okay, so we're going to proceed, but for beginners, I strongly suggest that sticking to WordPress. So that's what I'm going to stick to. It is easier. It is the easiest platforms I've ever worked with, but it's flexible enough to suit everyone from small business owners and freelancers to creative artists and bloggers. I absolutely love to see finished websites that my visitors have built. So don't be afraid to show it if you want. If you have any questions, you can send them to me. If I've built a site and you want me to take a look at your site and what you have done, please feel free to send it to use the contact page on my site, profitwithjoy.com.ng. So in the next lesson, what is next in the next lesson? In step 2, the first step I've told you here, the first step I've explained to you here. The first step the first step that I've covered here, I've explained to you what platform you should use for your website. And so in the next step, I'm going to walk you through the process of choosing a domain name and finding a hosting space for your site. And after that, after the second step, the third step, which I promised, I'm going to show you how to install your WordPress and show you how to configure your WordPress to suit you.